Looking at this aerial view of Green Lane playing fields in East Birmingham, you mostly see an undeveloped grassy stretch of land dotted with a few scattered storage containers. But zooming in on the young people living in the surrounding neighborhoods reveals a very different picture. High rates of unemployment, systemic poverty, and social exclusion are everyday realities here. When a community lacks accessible resources and safe recreational spaces, it creates a psychological vacuum. Young people are forced to navigate daily environmental threats without a reliable sanctuary to retreat to. We can see the toll this takes in this whiteboard mind map drawn by a young person, mapping out where they feel safe. Under the prompt, "Where not?" as in where don't you feel safe, the young Perone explicitly drew an arrow pointing to the word outside. When a young person categorizes the very act of being outdoors as an active threat, the physical environment itself has become the primary barrier to their development. To counter this, we initiated a strategy backed by the Better Youth Spaces Fund. The approach was a direct, engineered physical intervention. We brought in construction cranes to drop recycled shipping containers directly onto the site, establishing an undeniable footprint. A modular construction method allowed us to rapidly assemble a secure, bespoke sanctuary from the ground up. This allowed us to expand that initial footprint and extend the complex into a full-scale, multi-purpose community space. Within weeks, the space transitioned from an intimidating assembly of raw steel into a highly intentional, welcoming architectural environment. The finalized building complements our existing shipping container youth center with its features expansive wooden decking, signaling a permanent, transparent, and safe presence to the surrounding neighborhood. Constructing this literal infrastructure was the mandatory first step. We had to build a physical boundary against external threats before any internal programming could begin. Inside our youth center we operate an open access model, running 7 days a week for young people aged 8 to 25. A major pillar of our programming is creating employability pathways to combat local joblessness. This now starts with commercial culinary skills, teaching participants how to handle prep work, cook and content create. We place a high level of trust and responsibility on young people, assigning them to manage commercial-grade kitchen equipment and prepare large-scale meals for their peers. This vocational training moves outside the kitchen and into mechanical repair. Out on the grass, you will find young people collaborating to fix bicycle tires, gaining tangible, hands-on problem-solving experience. But work and training are only half of the ecosystem here. We ensure that we heavily promote pure, unstructured play, like chaotic water fights on the site, to actively support mental well-being. Underpinning both the work and the play is the constant presence of trusted adult mentors. We are always available, guiding activities and creating safe, supportive relationships. True progress in this environment requires a dual approach, equipping young people with the hard skills needed to find future employment, while also providing the psychological safety required to simply be a child. What does the long-term human return on investment of this engineered space actually look like for the young people of East Birmingham? Looking back at the whiteboard mind map, we see a sharp contrast between present fears and future ambitions. Inside a thought bubble labeled, "In 10 years," the young person has handwritten specific, high-reaching goals, learning to drive and becoming a doctor. The P2P progress curriculum is designed to actively bridge the gap between those raw, handwritten aspirations and actual, recognized achievements. The ultimate result is to create thriving, unified community, safely gathering and celebrating on land that used to be an empty, threatening void. These shipping containers and the space now serve as the foundation, allowing local young people to spend their time building the professional futures they once only documented on a whiteboard.